Now I was going to drop a review of Metaphor ReFantasio today, but something happened. This guy over my right shoulder, Jayce at retrogames.co.uk, well, he convinced me to buy a box of junk. And you heard me correctly, a box of junk. And if you want to see what box of junk I bought, you just wait until after these. So here is a box in all its glory. It weighs in at 8.9 kilograms, and that's £20 or almost £20 in American weights. And it is quite beefy. Now it cost me £30, and was it worth it? Well, I don't know, because that guy over there, Jayce, we can see him right there. He says this is a box of complete and utter junk, but I had to buy it because one, it's video game related, it's mostly retro video game related, and it's a mystery. So we're going to do a little jump cut now while I open this box, and we will go through the items in this box one by one for your viewing pleasure. Now of course, being a box of junk, there's not going to be a great deal of monetary value, or I don't think there'll be a great deal of monetary value. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring out an item at a time. I'm going to have a look at it, discuss what I think about it, or maybe just skip over it if it is actually just pure junk. And the first item going into the box, we have this. Now this is fantastic, because what you have here is a 3D printed save icon. You see it probably on the bottom of most of your PCs, and that's what that is. No, of course, it's a 3.5 inch floppy disk. Yeah, definitely a floppy disk, and I know these are hard, but it's a floppy disk because it's that wonderful disk inside. If I can just make that move, that's quite stiff. That's got some quite stiff action there. And springs back, floppy disk inside. It'll be a blank floppy disk. Now I don't use 3.5 floppy disks anymore. I know some people who do, so I might just set that aside and someone else can maybe get use of that. Next up, and coming out of the box, it's another 3.5 floppy disk, and this time we have Deluxe Paint 3, and that is for the Amiga 500, 1000, 2000, 1 megabyte. Again, I wasn't a big Amiga user back in the day, I was an Atari ST fan, but I think someone might have use for this, so if you've got use for this, drop down in the comments and let me know if you want Deluxe Paint 3 for the Amiga sent to you. Next, coming out of the box, and yes, it's a shape that I definitely recognise in my hands because it's a cassette tape. Now everybody who knows me knows that I was a ZX Spectrum kid back in the day, so this is how I loaded my games. Now this is for the Electron. It has Megaforce and Gunsmoke on it. Didn't use the Electron back in the day. Maybe somebody else has got some use for that, but for me, that is junk. Reaching back into the box, and I can feel another cassette tape, and what do we have here? We have Jungle Boy, Alien Dropout, Felix and the Evil Weevils, Mineshaft and Stranded, again for the Electron. The Electron again, not my cup of tea, wasn't what I grew up with. It was a ZX Spectrum, a much better machine. So I'll set that aside on the Electron pile and reach into the box again. Next up, we have another cassette tape, and I'm not surprised, there's going to be a lot of cassette tapes in here, I would imagine. And what we have this time is for the Atari 800. Again, a microcomputer I didn't use back in the day, but you know what? It's a nice box copy of Los Angeles SWAT for the Atari 800. If anyone out there wants this, let me know. I don't have an Atari 800, I didn't use the Atari 8-bit micros. Just let me know and I'll pass that on to you. Reaching back into the box, we have a CD case in my hand now, and it is Ground Control. It's a PC game, Sierra published. Looks like it may be some sort of first person shooter. Didn't play it back in the day. I do have a PC obviously, so I'll be able to fire this up, hopefully get this running, see if it's compatible with more modern systems. I might just give this one a go. So that's Ground Control. Going to sit to the side, not quite in a definite to keep bundle. I'm reaching back into the box, and it's another CD case that's in my hands, and we have upside, or by its side, we have something Star Trek. Oh, we have Star Trek Voyager Elite Force. Now, I believe I've got this on the PlayStation 2, don't have it in PC. I maybe give it a go at some point, but I'll set that in the maybe have a look at later point. Reaching back in, and it's another cassette in its own case, and its little dual case, and we have here Colin the Cleaner and Who Said That? Oh, and it's for the Spectrum 128, so this is definitely going to be staying into the collection. I have never played that before, and I have never played that before. Side A, Colin the Cleaner, and Side B, Who Said That? So I'm looking forward to actually checking out these games, because it's games I never played on a system that, my very first system. And look at that box art, you just don't get box art like that anymore. It's just so joyful to look at. And that's going to sit on the definitely keep pile, so we'll keep that over there. Next in, and this is a very familiar shape as well, and it's not a game this time, because we have a Sega Mega Drive pad, or Mega Drive control pad. Have a look at the back here. Buttons are not working properly. C pauses. Well, that might not be too bad a thing. It might be something that I'll be able to rectify. You can never have too many joypads, controllers. You can get your hands in these for cheap, and obviously this has come quite cheap at £30 for everything I'm going to pull out this box today. But that's at least spares and repairs, so I'm quite happy with that. That's definitely going to go on the keep pile, and I'll just sit it over there for the meantime. Reaching back in, we have another CD case coming out, and we have Forsaken, a game that I haven't played, so I can't really talk about it. And no, it came out on other systems other than just PC. Discs in there. Now, I haven't really been looking at the discs, but that disc's minty fresh. Minty fresh. And there's me with my Mario t-shirt. So I'm going to set that aside on the maybe keep pile for PC gaming. Back into the box, and this is a DVD case, so I wonder what this could be, and it's a PlayStation 2 game. It's Driver Parallel Lines. It's a game that I don't have for the PlayStation 2, so I am quite excited to have this one in here, opening it up. It's complete in the box, so yeah, this is a result. This is a definite keep. I'll set that over there with the Spectrum game, and that's two items I will definitely be keeping. And reaching back into the box, and we have another CD case, and we have Mech Warrior 3, again PC game. I wasn't really a big fan of the Mech Warrior games, not something that I played a lot of. And there's just sliding straight out of the box. Look at the artwork inside there though, that's quite nice. I like little touches like that. I wish more companies would still do it. I will put it on the PC to check pile and get to that at some point. Reaching back into the box, and we have, well, I have what I would call a gut sleeve. So it's a disc, and we have 007 Quantum of Solace for the PlayStation 3. It's a game that I already have, so I will set that aside in the bundle where if someone wants this, needs it, let me know. If not, I'm sure I can source a box of it and make it complete. Reaching back into the box, and yeah, I can fill another cassette tape, so I'll bring that out. And we have Zenon, and I'm trying to see, yeah, it's Electron this side and BBC the other side. So they call Electron the BBC, and not something that I've got any use for. No nostalgia for those systems. I might get round to them at some point because, well, I've got nostalgia for 8-bit microcomputers. But I will set that in the pile where someone out there who's watching this might say, you know, I quite fancy that, send me those Electron games. And reaching back into the box, it's another cassette tape, and there's that yellow flash, so that means it's Spectrum, and it's Spectrum Ski Simulator. I don't have Spectrum Ski Simulator, not on its physical form like this. Do we have here, this is a very interesting looking tape. Distributed electronically, titled Professional Ski Simulator written onto this. I want to have a look into that, that's quite interesting. I mean, it's a game, it's on a box, it's not been properly rewound there. See that? Be kind, rewind. But I'll pop that in the box. I will fire up the Specky a bit later on and test obviously these games. But if that's working, I'm quite happy to have that there, so definitely on the keep pile right there. So reaching back into the box, and it's another cassette tape. It's in its original case, and we have, oh no, we've got Clumsy Colin Action Biker, probably one of the worst games ever made, and on the C64, the Commodore 64, which as far as I'm concerned can get in the sea. This was, now if you don't know the 8-bit microcomputer scene from back in the 80s, you had Spectrum kids, you had Commodore kids, and never the twain should meet. I was of course a Specky kid, so even touching this is making me feel a little bit dirty. Now I won't be keeping this one because I have no interest in the Commodore 64, not to own one or go and get one at any time soon. Maybe sometime I can get over my version of the Commodore 64, but in the meantime, if anyone who has a Commodore 64 is looking for a copy of Clumsy Colin Action Biker, and I don't know why you would, then just drop down into the comments, let me know, and I'll send it along to you, because despite anything else, if you were a Commodore kid, you'd quite like that in your collection, I'm sure. So reaching back into the box, and I've got my hands around another CD case, and we have Cultures. Now, I know nothing about Cultures, never heard of this game before. Published by THQ, doesn't mean a great deal, but this looks like a sim sort of maybe populist type game. This is something I might be quite interested in. I'll set it on the PC to check out pile, but Cultures, and if you know about Cultures, drop down in the comments, let me know. Reaching back into the box, it's another slim CD case, so it's going to be another PC game, and we have Microsoft Home, Microsoft Golf, CD-ROM version 2.0. Now I do love a good golf game. I don't think I ever played Microsoft Golf back in the day. I was strictly played on the ZX Spectrum, would been world class leaderboard, moved on to PGA Tour, and then of course the Tiger Woods PGA Tours and so on. Don't think I've ever played Microsoft Golf. Maybe I have, maybe I haven't, I don't know. But I'll sit it in the pile of PC games to check out and give that a go at some point. And reaching back into the box, and we have what feels like a DVD case, quite sturdy, quite heavy, and Lost Planet for the Xbox 360. Now, very much like I wasn't a Commodore 64 fan, I'm a Sony pony, not really a 360 and Microsoft fan. But it's in this tin book here. It has its manual, it has its 2 discs, because let's face it, Xbox, Microsoft, they were too cheap to pay out to get their games onto Blu-ray, because they didn't want to pay Sony obviously, because they can't admit defeat. It's quite simple. But Lost Planet on the 360, not a game that I'm interested in. It's in this steelbook. The steelbook's not in the best condition, it's certainly not in the worst condition. So if there's anyone out there that's looking for a copy of Lost Planet on the Xbox 360, well, drop down in the comments, have a chat with me, and we can find out where to send this, because it's not something that I'll keep in my collection. So reaching back into the box, and it's another DVD case, so PlayStation 2, Xbox, and it's Xbox 360 game again. It's Brutal Legend. It's a game that I already have for the PlayStation 3, of course, a much superior PlayStation 3. It's nice and complete, and not something that I need in my collection, but it's a decent thing to come out of this box of junk. Great game, fantastic fun, outstanding music in this game, what can I say? So if you're looking for a copy of Brutal Legend on Xbox 360, drop down in the comments, let me know, because this is not something that I will keep here. Reaching back into this box, and we have another DVD case and another 360 game. Far Cry 2, a game that I actually have for the 360, because not every game came. It's not complete, it's got the disc. Same as always, if you're looking for a copy of Far Cry 2 for the Xbox 360, drop down in the comments and we can sort out getting this over to you. because although this is a box of junk, it's also a box of quite cool junk. So let's keep going with the cool junk and reach in and bring out yet another DVD case, another 360 game. And you know what, if I didn't know Jayce any better, actually I know him too well, he's probably filled this box full of Xbox 360 because he knows that I'm a dyed-in-the-wool Sony pony. Now it's LEGO Star Wars Complete Saga on the 360. It's an American copy now. I'm not sure how that works with the Microsoft stuff. I know on the mighty PlayStation 3 doesn't matter, it's not region locked. I don't know if this is region locked or not. You know what, you can let me know that down in the comments. It's not something that I've looked into before, it's not something I've struggled with because I had no Xbox 360 games to take up my time and then get one of these that wouldn't work or not. So let me know down in the comments whether you want this or need this or not, and whether this would work in a UK PAL Xbox 360. But let's just keep going and reach back into the box. And we have another DVD case. It doesn't feel like an Xbox 360 this time, no. And it's not, it's Civilization 4. It's a game I already have for the PC. I absolutely love Civilization, so if there's any PC gamers out there looking for a copy of Sid Meier's Civilization 4, give me a shout. I'll pop this along to you. Just drop down in the comments. What a great series of games though. Sid Meier's is one of my all-time favourite developers. But enough of that, and back into the box, and we have another cassette tape in its case. And we have here the Hit Pack Commodore 64. Now what do we have on this? We have Ninja Scooter Simulator, European 5-a-side, Cauldron 2, and I can't quite make that out. Nope, can't quite make that out. My eyes are just terrible at this age. Something Simulator, Turbo Boat Simulator, and again all for the Commodore 64, and some screenshots at the back there if you're interested. Now as before, as much as Ninja Scooter Simulator is a cult classic and Cauldron 2 decent game, no interest in the Commodore 64, so I'll pop this on the pile of Commodore 64 games that some of you out there might want, so drop down in the comments, let me know. So reaching back into the box, it's another cassette tape case, and we have Commodore 4. Now we're starting to see a sort of trend here of Xbox 360 games and Commodore games. Jayce, I think Jayce is absolutely trolling me with this box of junk. Now it's a great idea, this box of junk, because it gets rid of stuff that he can't sell. It means he doesn't have to take it to a tip, a landfill, but it means he also can get some money from me and other of you out there, because I know a few of you out there have already bought a box off him. Genius idea, but I think he's trolling me. Commodore, Xbox. Anyway, what we got here, we've got Crystal Castles, Uridium, fantastic game, absolutely fantastic game, even on the ZX Spectrum. For you Commodore fans that say this version is better, I don't believe you. Fifth Gear and Blue Max. That's a good wee selection of games, so if you've got a Commodore 64, if you're looking for games for your collection, let me know. I'll pop that in the Commodore pile and we can sort something out. But back into the box, it's another cassette tape, and please don't be, and it's another Commodore Power Pack. And what do we have on this one? Shockwave Rider, don't know. Warlock, yeah, I'm pretty sure I played a bit of Warlock back in the day. Again, we have a Commodore tape. It'll go in the Commodore pile, and if there's any Commodore people out there who want this in their collection, let me know, and I'll set that with the other Power Pack Commodore and other Commodore games. But back in again, and yes, it's another cassette tape, and I know Jayce, and it's another Commodore game, or a selection. You've got Park Patrol, fantastic game, love playing that back in the day. Anarchy, don't think I've played. You've got Exile and F1 GP Circuits, good racing game. Again, on the Commodore, not for me. I don't have a Commodore, not yet, and probably not anytime soon. So let me know again, if you want any of these Commodore or Xbox games. And the box still is nowhere near empty because I've got it beside me here and it's quite full and heavy, and I'm reaching in and I've got something again that's not a game. I'll bring this up and we have a third-party Super Nintendo controller. I will try and unwind that cable as quietly as possible. And we have the Game Commander 2. Now I do have a Super Nintendo, a SNES. This one here, start button is constantly pressed. That shouldn't be too much of a problem to fix. And again, having more controllers, more spare controllers, even for spares and repairs, always a good thing. So I'll set that to the side, beside the Mega Drive controller, and maybe I'll get that working, and maybe I'll use it for spares and repairs. Right, hand in it again, and something odd. And now this, I have no idea, absolutely no idea what this is for. It's obviously for an expansion part from a microcomputer, as you can see here, where it would slot in. But you know what, I'm going to need you in the comments now, or even Jayce himself, if you could drop into the comments and tell me exactly what this is. It's got me confused, but it's definitely obviously for some sort of microcomputer, for expansion slots or something like that. This is the first piece of junk I think that's in the box, and for that reason I'm going to set it just over there, because that is an actual piece of junk. But I'll reach back into the box again, and I've got my hands on a clamshell here, and anyone who's an old school gamer know what a clamshell is. And we have Ghostbusters on the Commodore 64. Now this is a game that I absolutely love. I love Ghostbusters. Never played it in the Commodore 64, played it on the ZX Spectrum, the far superior machine. Now I just want to check in there. No, there is no instructions in the back, so that should have come with instructions. Doesn't matter to me. But you know what, it's a nice clamshell Ghostbusters Commodore. If you want it, drop down in the comments, let me know, because I'm not keeping Commodore stuff in the collection at the moment, and I'd much rather this went to a home that would love and care for it. It is a great game. Well, it's a great game for me. Don't know about you, but I love Ghostbusters. Drop down in the comments, let me know if you want it, while I grab out the next thing that's in the box. It's another loose cassette tape. And what do we have this time? We have Spectrum Game Compilation. For side 2, please turn over cassette. Now this is tape 8, so this obviously came with a bundle of at least 8 tapes. There was a lot of compilations out there, a lot of different theme compilations. I have no idea what's on this. I know who would quite like to have this in his hands. My good friend over at Real Generic Demon. He would love to just pop this in a machine and see what's on it random, because obviously it doesn't say anywhere on the cassette what games are on it. He's a big Spectrum guy, and that's how he should be, because that's the best way to be. And I think he'd absolutely love this. So Christian, if you're watching this, just drop down in the comments, let me know if you want me to send you Spectrum Games Compilation Tape 8, so you can find out what's on the tape. And there'll be a link to Christian down in the comments, because he's a fantastic content creator. Nearly every Sunday he'll put a what's on the tape, where he puts in random tapes and shows you what's on them for the ZX Spectrum. What a guy. I'll put that on the Real Generic Demon pile, I think, because I think that's where that should go. But reaching back into the box, and it's another loose cassette. It's another white one, and we have tape 5 from the same compilation. So this definitely, it's just screaming to me that this is supposed to go over to Real Generic Demon. So I'll set that in that pile immediately and reach back into this darkened box, and it feels like I've got another floppy disk. We do, and we have a blank JVC MF2DD. Great. I don't use them anymore, but there's people out there that do. I mean, I don't know if it works or not. I haven't had a look inside. Now the mechanism there's much cleaner. Having a look in there at the magnetic strip, I can't turn it too well because I don't have the tool for doing it. Doesn't look mouldy. that just looks like a sort of decent blank disc. So if anyone out there is looking for blank discs, let me know. I'll pop it in the pile that someone might want. And reaching back in, we have what feels like a book. So it can't be a book, it'll be like a folio software thing. And we have the Tandy TRS-80 32K World of Flight micro deal for Tandy, and this is going way off mine, and oh no, it's just the manual and the box. But you know what, it's a lovely box, and if there's anyone out there that uses the Tandy TRS-80, just let me know if you want this box and manual. No use to me, but I'm sure someone might want that. I'm sure there's people out there that love their Tandy stuff, so I'll set that on the possibly someone will want, and drop down into the comments and let me know. But I'll reach back into the box. It's another loose cassette. It's black this time, and we have Petals of Doom from Gremlin Graphics. Love Gremlin Graphics back in the day. Again, for the C16 and the Plus 4. So we're more... Oh, there's another game. We've got Zargon Worlds on the other side, and it's Commodore 16. Even worse than the Commodore 64, but what are you going to do about that? I'll just set that over in the Commodore section, which is growing quite rapidly, Jayce, I must say, and reach back into the box. Oh, it's getting harder. Now this feels like plastic and empty, and we have, you know, what? Right, okay, this is actual junk by the looks of things. Now this was open when it came into my hands in the box, and now it's closed and I can't get it open. But you know what that reminds me of? It reminds me of something that you would have like a printer cartridge in. I don't know. Is that something that I should know? I don't think it is. I'll have a look in the back. Can't make out anything, not with my eyesight. I got a plastic box, so we have the second piece of junk. Actual junk. I mean, this down here might not be a piece of junk. It might be useful to someone. Someone might recognise what that is. But that's a plastic box, Jayce. That's a piece of junk. I don't even think I can imagine what I could keep in that. 2 pieces of junk, but that's not bad going for a junk box that's not even halfway empty yet as I'm reaching in here. Cost me £30, remember, and it's another diskette or floppy disk, and we have Workbench plus DOS to DOS, Xcopy and LAARC. So this is obviously for the Amiga, as a lot of these were. Nice motion there. If nothing else, this becomes a blank disk. So again, I'll add it to the blank disk pile, and someone might want some blank discs. I knew I would have wanted them back in the day, just don't use them these days. It's another cassette tape that's made its way into my hands, and we have another Commodore 16 tape from Gremlin Graphics. It obviously came off, I think, a compilation. We have Time Slip and Blagger, so I will set that on the Commodore side again, and hopefully someday will want that at some point. And next is another tape, and we have Biggles. Now, I did play Biggles, and this is the ZX Spectrum version. I don't have Biggles at the moment, so I'll pop this in now. The tape, I've just noticed on the tape there, doesn't look great, and it's not. Oh, it is turning. It looked like there was maybe a little bit of mould there. I don't know if you will pick that up on camera. I think you can. I think you can just about pick out on camera. There's a knock camera everywhere. That little bit of mould there. I mean, I might be able to clean that up. And the rest of the tape looked okay. So I'll leave it there. I'll try and clean that up. I'll see if Biggles works, and if it does, I promise I'll show you a video of Biggles in action. But I'm going to set that in the sort of keep pile at the moment anyway, and reach back into the box. It's another cassette tape, but it's in its case, and we have Robocop 2 playable demo, 3 games, Draconis, Trantor, Stardust, Piggy, Punks. Now, I don't think I recognise any of those games there. Yes, obviously Robocop 2. Now, what is this for? 128k only, so it could be the Spectrum. and it's a Spectrum. Robocop, 128k only demo. Never played Robocop 2. Loved the first Robocop game. So this is definitely going to go in the keep pile, and I'm going to have a look at that at some point because I want to see what Robocop 2 played like. And reaching back into the box, it's another cassette tape in its case. And my oh my, this is interesting box art, a Megatape 25. This looks like something that's homemade, and there was a lot of that back in the day. There was a lot of homemade inlay work. The game itself, Megatape 32, Death Zone, exclusive 3D space action, Space Harrier 2 playable demo. Anything come from this? It looks like it's been cut from a magazine. This is fantastic. So yeah, they've cut this from the magazine. This is obviously the game. Oh, that's what's happened. Look, this is something they'd do back in the day as well. You'd cut this out of the magazine to put into a case for your Megatape 25, for your demo tape. Cut out of the mag. Fantastic way to use things. But then again, people who collect paper, ephemera, get a bit annoyed about stuff like that. Now the only problem I've got with this is I don't know what it's for. So do I pop it into a Spectrum, see if it runs? But I might just keep that anyway, just for the sheer nostalgia of the way these were put together. So yeah, I'm going to set that there anyway. I will try and test it, see if it is a specky game. If it's not, I'm probably still going to keep that as a conversation piece. And back into the box again, we have another cassette in the box. And we have Viz playable demo and 3 games. Going to open back up again. It's again for the Spectrum, so that's fantastic. Never played the Viz game. As far as I remember, it was a selection of mini games. Viz was an adult comic that not so much adults read it back in the day. I was a big fan of Viz, as most teenage boys were. So I'm going to keep this one in here. Nice little playable demo of Viz. Another selection of games on there as well. Anything interesting. Gunsmoke's on there. So I'll pop that up there. And that's Sinclair User, obviously, the SU. Grade 8. And tape number 5. But I'll reach back into the box. Let's see what comes into my hand. And this feels like a piece of plastic again. I think we might have some actual rubbish here. No, we don't. It's just... we have Plain Crazy, compact disc. It's probably a PC game. Have no idea. Loose. I'll sit that on the junk pile just now because it's something that I might just have a look at later. And reach back into the box, of course, because we've got to keep on going. And it feels like I've got paper here. And we have NGC presents a Game On. Win amazing prizes, more than 50 crazy challenges, Zelda, Metroid, Mario and more. Test your skills against the best. Game On. How to get more from your GameCube. So we have some sort of a guide for GameCube games. Super Mario Sunshine. So it's all Super Mario Sunshine. Oh no, we have some Legend of Zelda Wind Waker in here as well. And Wave Race 64, Metroid Prime, some games that I have. So you know what, I'm going to keep this just in case I get around to playing those GameCube games that I have. I don't often wheel it out, but when I do, I'll have that there to help me with. And reach back into this box. Feels like another piece of plastic, people. Could be another piece of tat. And yeah, that is a piece of tat really. This is for standing up your Wii U something. I don't know whether it was for your tablet or the console itself. I do remember seeing these a fair bit. Definitely for the Wii U, definitely a piece of tat. Definitely it's sitting over there, but that's not too bad, only 3 bits of tat as I reach into the box. And this is quite hefty. This is a big thing. No, it's not a big thing. It's 2 things stuck together. It's a DVD case. And we have another PC CD-ROM. Delta Force Black Hawk Down. Didn't play it back in the day. The game's in there, the manual's in there, the code so I can play it and say that I actually own the game is there. I'll set that on the PC pile and get round to seeing if I can get that working on a much more modern PC. And reaching back into the box, it's another DVD case. It's the case that was stuck to the one that I thought was a bigger thing. And we have Harry Potter, and the Philosopher's Stone PC CD-ROM. Again, I'll see if it runs. Obviously, this is something that I would play on the PlayStation and PlayStation 2. Not something that I would play on the PC, but I'll sit in the PC pile so I can check it out, see if it's working, and we'll go from there as I go back into the box. And this is a big thing. This is a big weighty thing. Oh, and we have an EA Classic SimCity 2000. Now, this is the start of the box for me so far. Absolutely love SimCity 2000. Now, it's an EA Classics, it's not the original big box, but it's still a big box and you don't see a lot of them anywhere. I will have a look inside. It looks like it's got everything that it should have, and this is going to take some doing. We have the toolbars, so we have the quick instruction guides, blue screen crashes, just in case you get that. I also have a FIFA 99 manual in there for Big Box PC, that's interesting. We have probably a product catalogue for someone, I'll have a look at that later. Electronic arts, and obviously registration cards. The important things here are SimCity 2000 user manual, 2 of them. Don't know why there's 2, I'll have a look at that later. I've never owned the big box version of it, I've only ever had the jewel case, just the regular CD case for SimCity 2000. What I didn't notice was a disc. But is it in there? Is it not in there? I mean, it doesn't need to be in there, it doesn't bother me if it's not in there because I already have it. But we have SimCity 2000 EA Class 6. You know what? I will pop it into something like that. That's probably going to be tacked. That can go in there, that can go in there, and that is fantastic. Now, that's the star of the show so far for me. Now, PC gaming was a big thing for me in the early 90s up to the mid 90s until the PlayStation came out. So having a big box back in the collection is fantastic. I just wish it wasn't taking me so long to get this stuff back into the box. So once it's in the box, I'll sit it on the to keep pile, and that is most definitely a to keep pile game. It's too big for that. Don't want to cover the tat. So I'll start to cover Jayce up because why not? SimCity 2000 or Jayce. I'd rather look at SimCity 2000 and reach back in here. We have another cassette. And we have another, oh, it's Amstrad this time. It's not that horrible Commodore. Amstrad was the 8-bit micro that your parents got for you if they didn't love you. I'm sorry, people. That's just the way it was. You got a Spectrum if they loved you. You got a Commodore 64 if they wanted to spend too much money on you and pretend that they loved you. If you got an Amstrad, you were just, well, I don't know, what can I say? You were an Amstrad kid, I'm sorry to say. Now what we have here, however, is Advanced Pinball Simulator on the Amstrad. You know what, it's going on a pile of Amstrad stuff now, just in case there's any more, sit that in there. And if you've got an Amstrad and you want Pinball Simulator or Advanced Pinball Simulator, drop down in the comments, let me know. It's not something I'd keep in my collection. I'll reach him back into the box. It's another cassette in its case, and we have a Commodore 64 Super something, Super Blitz. Can't see it for the old price label that has welded itself onto that plastic. Super Blitz, Commodore 64. I'm not going to keep it because it's a Commodore game, and we'll set that up there on the Commodore pile for you out there, the Commodore lover, to drop down into the comments and say, send me that Commodore stuff, and if you don't, it's going to end up getting burned on the 5th of November on a bonfire. Do you want that to happen? You don't. So I'm going into the box. We'll go on to the next thing, which is another cassette in its case. And we have Program Power Electron, Bandits at 3 o'clock, another Acorn Electron game. Lovely box art, lovely box. You know what? I might keep this. Don't have an Electron, but this just reeks of early 80s. Look at it, the style, the form, the function. And inside there, you have Bandits at 3 o'clock. I'm keeping that purely for the artwork. That's just, I just like the other one there, like that demo tape. I'm definitely keeping that one. So I will have an Acorn Electron game in the collection as I reach into the box to see what else is in this box of tat. And this is taking some time to get through this box of tat, and I'm going as fast as I can, people. Superior Software, Acorn Electron, Percy Penguin. Not really, I mean, it's not quite got the same appeal as that. I'm going to sit this in the pile of, if you've got an Electron, come and see me. Come drop down in the comments, let me know. We'll send you Percy Penguin. Right, reaching in, we have another CD case, so it'll be another PC game. We have Ultimate Race Pro Micro Pros. Don't know it myself. I'll set it on the two test list, and if nothing else, it's a CD case for spares and repairs. Reaching in, it's a DVD type case, and we have a PlayStation 3 game. It's a PlayStation 3 game that I don't have, Formula 1 2011. So this will stay with me. It's not something that I would have picked up in a hurry because I don't play a lot of racing games, but that is definitely a keeper. I'll just slide that in there and onto the keep pile. And the keep pile's not too bad, and remember I spent £30, gave it to that man over there, Jayce. But I'll reach back into the box and it feels like a piece of plastic, and it is because it's just another very thin CD case. And we have Hype Time Quest. I have no idea, obviously a mid-90s PC game, don't know, set that in the pile to test because I'm curious now, but don't have time to be curious, need to get back in here. It's another thin CD case by the feels of things. And we have Big Red Racing. Now that's a game that I have heard of, Big Red Racing, not one that I've played, but I'll set it in the PC pile to give it a test, see if I like it or not. Another thin one, so these have been stacked together. We have Tomb Raider, The Angel of Darkness on PC. Not going to keep this because it's so far only disc 2. I have this on the PlayStation, that's where you should play Tomb Raider. I'll set that there anyway, just in case the second disc pops up. If it doesn't, then it's junk. So at the moment it's PC to test, or it could be junk. And reaching back in, we have a loose disc. And we have a loose disc of Forza Motorsport 4. Again, I might as well just throw that in the bin, but it's there if you want it. I won't destroy it. Let me know down in the comments if you need that disc. Reaching back in again, another cassette tape. And it's another mega tape, so there's the artwork again that they've provided inside the magazine itself. And we have Operation Thunderbolt, playable demo, The Lost City Original Adventure. So looks like a full game and a playable demo. Operation Thunderbolt, that was one of the light gun games. Operation Wolf follow-up. You know what, don't think I've ever played that. If that's a specky game, did it say? Did it say? It is, of course, it's Sinclair user. I pointed that out before. SU, Sinclair user. So I'm going to keep that, and that will go in the little keep pile sitting right there as I reach into the box. It's another cassette tape. We have Star Wars Droids, and it's for the Spectrum and Amstrad. It's a mad Masteronics added dimension. Now this is quite cool. Not something I have in a collection. I'm going to have a quick look at the tape while I'm here. Nice and rewound, I like to see that. Don't want to bore you, but if there's any kids out there watching and wondering what's happening here, what I'm doing is there's a piece of magnetic tape in there, and these little circles in here that I have my finger, I would have if I had a pen handy, it'd probably be quicker. I am pulling through the magnetic tape to have a look just to see, and it looks okay at the beginning, so I'll put the leader back there to protect the tape, and I will be keeping Star Wars Droids because I don't have it. It's in nice condition. This is most definitely not junk. I'm not sure it's in a terribly valuable game, but it's Star Wars, it's Spectrum, it's also got the Amstrad version on it, so you know, if your poor Amstrad friend was there and they wanted to play it, you could load it for them, I suppose. But there we go, along there in the keep pile, and that's not too bad at all. As I reach back in, it's another cassette tape in my hand. Horizons, it's not going in the keep pile because I'm a ZX Spectrum kid. Now I don't have a lot of the old classics, but I definitely have Horizons. So I'm going to put Horizons over in the Someone might want Horizons if they don't already have it. I doubt it, because that's why it's in the box. And I'm going to reach back in the box, and it's a DVD case. And we have Resident Evil 6 and the Xbox 360 again. Oh, nice and complete. £3.50. Not too bad. I'll add that to the total of what I brought out of this box. But I don't need this. I have it for the PlayStation 3. I also have it digitally for the PlayStation 4. You want a copy of Resident Evil 6 for the 360? You know what to do. Drop down in the comments, let me know, and I'll set it in the pile and send it off to you. As I reach into the box again, DVD case, and it's Connected Ventures. Same thing. Everybody and their dog had this Connected Ventures game if you had a 360. It's gone immediately onto the pile, no use to me, and reaching back into the box. But yes, let me know if you want it, because it's up for grabs. We have Zumba Fitness Xbox 360, so yes, we've definitely been heavy on the Xbox 360 and Commodore. Jayce, but anyway, that's in the pile there. If you need it, let me know. I don't need it, it won't be staying with me. It's another DVD case, and it's another 360 game, and it's FIFA 16. Don't think I have FIFA 16 on any console. Don't want it on the Xbox 360, so if you want FIFA 16, and just check that it's in there. It is no manual, but do you need a manual to play football? Not likely. Let me know in the comments and I'll send it off to you at some point. Next up we have FIFA 14, Xbox 360, discs in the box. If this is something that you need, even if you just want the box itself, because these are great replacement boxes, that's what I would use a FIFA game for. Let me know and I'll send it off to you. As I reach back into the box, and we must be getting near the end now, FIFA 13. So that's 13, 14, 16. Maybe Jayce is trying to make me into a FIFA collector. FIFA, it's all about the FIFA. Anyway, I'll set that down. It's in the pile. I'm trying to get through this as fast as I can and drop everything that I've put in piles, because this is taking forever to do. And reaching back into the box, so we have a cassette tape. We have Empire from Shard Software. I have no idea about this one. It's another Electron game. Don't know. It's going in the pile of Electron games that someone might want. And back into the box, it's another cassette in its original case. Well, it's another Amstrad game. Welcome to Amsoft user demonstration. And are you a broken case, or did you just pop out? Continuous demonstration. So I have no idea what that is. Probably some sort of user software like the Spectrum one that you just saw. And I'm going to try and get it back in its case. Set that aside. I don't think anybody will want that. I might keep that for the case. As I say, not everything is. It's another cassette case, right? Okay, another cassette case. We have another Your Sinclair Magnificent 7. Jukebox Football Manager 3, that sounds fun. And actually I loved the first one, and I was just a kid when that came out. 3D Construction Kit. Heavy in the Magic, so decent wee game in there. Olympus, I'm not sure about. And Pokerama. Pokerama, that's tingling, the nostalgia. Pokerama, I'm going to have to load that up now. I think I know that game. And if you know that game, drop down in the comments and let me know about Pokerama, because there's something about it that's just jumping out at me. Anyway, it goes into the keep pile as I move on to the next thing in the box. And we have a Mega Drive Menacer 6 game cartridge. Have a Mega Drive, love the Mega Drive. Don't have a Menacer, almost picked one up last month, didn't do it. But that's a Menacer 6, and I'm going to keep that for the meantime, because I intend to pick up a Menacer. And reach back into the box, it's another cassette tape. As you see, there's a lot of cassettes. And we have for the ZX Spectrum Kong. Look, definitely staying in the collection. We have an Ocean game. Kong, ZX Spectrum, no questions asked. It's in the collection, it's not one I have. And reaching into the box again, another cassette tape in my hand, and we have SOS for the Spectrum game. I don't remember playing it either, so that's definitely staying in the collection. Moving on, because I am trying to get through this for your sanity as well as mine. Way of the Exploding Fist. This is an absolute belter of a game. I already have it in the collection. It's a game that I play all the time. I play it every year without fail. I play it on a keyboard, so that's 9 buttons. I'll show you at some point. I'll make a video, let you see Way of the Exploding Fist being played. I'm sure I've probably done it before. Fantastic game. I'll set that in the pile because I'm sure somebody might want that. I don't need it at the moment because I already have it. So if you want Way of the Exploding Fist, fantastic game, drop down in the comments, let me know. One of the best games in the Spectrum. And reaching back in, because I took up too much time, it feels like I've got another clamshell here, or I have, a box. I have Number Puzzler for the BBC Micro Model B. Classic boxes, these wooden cardboard boxes with a plastic inlays. Obviously I don't need Number Puzzler, and I certainly don't need it for the BBC Micro Model B. The box is in okay condition. If this is something that would fit into your collection and you want it, let me know. But I'm moving on to the next item, which is hard to get because I'm getting to the bottom of the box. It's another cassette tape, and we have a Commodore 64 game, Micro Rhythm Plus. Yeah, well, that can just micro rhythm itself over there as I reach in and get another cassette tape, an Amsoft game, another Amstrad game, and we have the Sultan's Maze. Again, I'll set that over there. I'm sure someone might want that. Drop down in the comments, let me know. And next is another cassette. We have Sports Simulations Year Top Shots Kick-Off, Commodore 64. Is it Kick-Off? Doesn't look, it could be. No, Top Shots must be the name of the game. Don't know it. Commodore game. It's on the Commodore pile. If you want it, let me know. And another cassette game. We have a Soft Aid for the Commodore 64. You know what? This might be the only Commodore 64 game that I'll keep in my collection. It was back in the 80s when the famine was in Ethiopia. There was a lot of aid things going around. Obviously, you had the music ones with Live Aid. Soft Aid was software developers trying to do their bit. As for the Commodore 64, so that doesn't interest me. But it's a piece of time, a piece of history. Look at this, a Commodore 64 game coming into my collection. Who'd have thunk? Right, back into the box. And we have this. Is this, I feel like, multiple tapes? And we do. Oh, well, look what we have here. We have Spectrum Games Compilation Tape 10, Tape 4, and they're in this weird kind of box. This is weird. It's like a twin box. This probably came, and I've got the other two there. So definitely Christian, that's Real Generic Demon. Let me know if this is something that you're interested in. I will certainly send them your way, and great content for what's on the tape when you don't know what's on the tape. But enough of that, I've got to keep going. And we have Backpacker's Guide to the Universe Part 1. Now there's a rip-off if I've ever seen one. I did play sorry, not Backpackers, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy on the ZX Spectrum. This is for the ZX Spectrum. Gonna have to keep this, not only just because it's a Spectrum game, but obviously it's a rip-off of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Backpacker's Guide to the Universe Part 1. Interesting. Let's see what's on that at some point as I go into the box. It feels like a clamshell, not or a DVD, or oh no. We have Brain Training. How old is your brain? Actually, don't have this. Have a DS. Don't have this. Stay in the collection because it's something that I did play back in the day. The Brain Training games. They were fun-ish. But anyway, moving on. It's getting harder to reach down the bottom here. And again, it's something that's plastic and different, and well, that's okay. It's a little hard shell for a PSP. Not completely not completely useless. Logitech made. If I can close it back over again. And that's what it is. It's a little hard case for a PSP. Drop your PSP in there. I've got plenty of stuff like that. Don't really need it. So it's kind of tat. I'll put that in the tat bit. So the tat's got some, because he did say it was a box of rubbish, and so far there's not been a great deal of rubbish, well, not in my opinion, unless you count the Commodore 64 and Xbox 360. But enough of that, backhand into the box, getting nice and low now, and we have Superior Software, Hunchback, what a game. Just recently found out it was an arcade game first and then ported to the micros. Now this is for the Model B, the BBC Model B. Not for me, I'm sure someone out there might want a copy of Superior Software's Hunchback for the BBC Model B, and if you do, let me know. It's on my pile of stuff that I will send to you. Reaching back in and really getting to the bottom now. We have another CD case. CD case. We have Atari, right, okay, so we have Atari 80 classic games in one for the PC. You know what, that's fantastic. That's the type of compilation I absolutely love. Probably pop that into the PC, see if I can get that running. I love that stuff. It's on the PC pile and reaching in, and it's getting hard now. I feel packing peanuts, so I must be getting to the bottom. It feels like another folio type. Yep, it's another folio type thing. We have Gemini Leisure Software Missile Control for the BBC Model B. Again, don't have a Model B. Is the software inside? The software's inside. This is complete. So if you want missile control for the BBC Model B 32K from Gemini Leisure Software, let me know. Quite happy to post that out to you. Just drop down in the comments. And into the box, it's another CD thin box. It's another PC, and we have Hype Time Quest Netherlands. So maybe it was multi-language. It's an Ubisoft game. Why don't I know this? In Playmobil, and I can see it much clearer now. So we've got some sort of Playmobil license game here. So I know what that other Hype one was. This one, Netherlands. I'm going to set that in the to test pile anyway and reach back into the box, and we have more hardware. And we have DualShock 2 PlayStation 2 controller. I will unravel it off the table because I don't want it rattling in your eardrums. Can't have enough of these. It feels okay. There's no sticker on this saying there's anything wrong with it. No rattle when I shake. Feels smooth. This might just be a working DualShock 2. That's okay, so definitely not junk. Definitely getting kept. It's in the pile over there. That's worth a decent amount of money for what I paid anyway. And reaching in, we have Droids. Again, we have Droids on the Spectrum and Amstrad. Fantastic. 2 copies. I'm going to keep that there because I'm going to test it. If both of them work, I'll send one out. If someone needs one, as I knock the camera again, but I will. I'll test them before I send them out though, and I'll let you know at some point whether or not that works. But that's I'm definitely going to have a copy that works of Droids. And reaching in, and I can definitely feel the bottom of the box now, we have Drakan, Order of the Flame Manual. Now, didn't play Drakan back in the day. I'm pretty sure it's on the PlayStation 2, and I'm pretty sure it's on my watch list, Drakan, Order of the Flame. Correct me if I'm wrong, I may be, and I'm not thinking of Drakengard and stuff, I'm thinking about Drakan. Yeah, I'm absolutely positive I've got this on my watch list for a PlayStation 2. So I'll keep that manual aside anyway. It's not worth anything, I'm sure you wouldn't want it either. And we have another loose disc. We have more than a loose disc. We have the Hulk, the Incredible Hulk from US Gold. Don't know where that'll come. Maybe Sega, no, coming soon, doesn't say. Set that there at the moment because I have no idea where that came from, and I'll look and I don't want to waste time. We have Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty on the PlayStation 2. Now of course I've got Metal Gear Solid Sons of Liberty on the PlayStation 2. Don't really need that. It's a spare disc though, and if anyone needs a spare disc for it, I'll just set it in the pile there for stuff that you might want. And reaching back inside, it's another cassette tape. And what do we have this time? We have Toolbox audio tape. So it's an audio tape. I'll have to play it to hear it, to see what's on it. This tape is designed to introduce you to the wonderful world of your of computing with your new Commodore 64. The case gets shut back over, slipped over there, and if you want it, you let me know, because it's not staying here. It's enough Commodore stuff now. And reaching back in, we have another cassette tape, another Amsoft Oh Mummy. Now this doesn't necessarily mean it's not full of specky, and I don't know, doesn't seem to say. It could just be Amstrad. Wait to load, press control, and right, so it's not full of specky. This will be an Amstrad. Did play Oh Mummy back in the day, thoroughly enjoyed it. Very simple game. Fill in the squares game that you get on mobile devices and that these days still. But Oh Mummy, Amstrad, you want it? Let me know as I reach into this box. And it's another CD. And we have absolutely hideous early 90s 3D. Oh, I quite like this PC CD-ROM. Definitely keeping this. Love that look. That just, it's quite nostalgic for me. This is in my late teens, early 20s when this was all the rage. So I'm going to pop that in the PC, see exactly what it is, and reach into the box. And it's a loose cassette tape. Amstrad again, user demonstration. Over there, that's probably junk, but you never know, someone out there might want it. Reaching in again, it's paper at the bottom. Painkiller Overdose Manual. It's not a game that I was going to pick up even on the PlayStation 3. It's obviously a manual for the PC. I'm going to put that in junk. I'm sorry, but that's definitely going in junk. And here we have the SimCity all-time high scores. Now it's on this sort of red and dark writing because this would be some sort of security code. So when you load your game in back in the day, and a lot of you will know this, especially on PC and microcomputers, you would have some sort of security function. It would ask you a question. The question would be an answer on this here, and in some cases you would need a little red film to see the actual writing on it. I'm going to keep that aside there. That's definitely going to be in the keep. Want to see which game it's for. It looks like it's just SimCity, but you never know. It might be SimCity 2000. And reaching into the box, another 3D printed save icon. Oh, that's a bit loose. See how it doesn't spring back? Spring's gone in that, so that's junk. Sorry, junk. And next we have PC Gamer Flight Sims, Microsoft Flight Simulator 5.0, 6.0, Flying Core, Apache and Hind, Pacific Air War, and EF2000. You know, I wasn't too big in flight sims back in the day. I did like the combat sims, but not the flight sims. I did play the first flight simulator on the ZX Spectrum. Played it to death when I was like 9-10 years old, so not something for me. I'll set that on the, somebody might want that if they're a flight sim fan. And reaching into the box, there's another piece of hardware, and we have, well, actually that's quite handy. As we see there, we have got an adapter for a Super Nintendo or a NES. Again, handy. Never get rid of stuff like this. You never know when you're going to need it. It's definitely going in the keep pile. An NES power supply, fantastic, and they can cost a couple of quid. Right, and reaching back into the box, we have this. Now, I do not know what that plugs into. It kind of looks like an old Samsung phone port, and it's maybe your phone out to SCART. I mean, I don't know. To me, it's not junk if it's a wire. I will try and work out exactly what that's used for. It's probably a load of tat, but I'm not going to call it tat. It's wires, and you never know when you're going to need wires. And reaching into the box, and I think that is just about the end. I'll have to have a proper look in. We have Powermonger save game, nice, springy, so that's not too bad. And from what I could see in the inside, It doesn't look like it's got any mould in that part, so it might be good. I'll put that in a pile of stuff that someone might want. Blank discs are hard to get. So now I'm going to have a proper look into the box, and it's just packing, and oh, a piece of paper here. We have Nintendo 64, welcome to the future. Now, Nintendo 64 was not the future. The original PlayStation was ahead of the 64. And it wasn't too long till the PlayStation 2 came out. I'm sorry, Nintendo, you have done some wonderful things over the years. I absolutely love the Switch. You were ahead of the game with the NES, but ever since then you've always been behind. It's not a bad thing, you're doing your thing, and you could keep doing your thing. But for me, Nintendo 64 was not the future, and I'm going to call that tat. And that was the end of the box, so let me say goodbye now. So there you go, my friends, that was my box of junk from Jayce over at retrogames.co.uk, and what did you think of that? Anything in that box that you might want for yourself? Anything that you think I should just bury in a 7-foot hole? Well, drop down into the comments and let me know, because the interaction between you and me, well, that's what makes YouTube special. It does for me anyway. Thank you again as always for watching, and until next time, cheerio!